Welcome back everybody to Man vs. VR, where we check out the latest VR games and also anything else VR related that we can get our hands on. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for all the awesome content coming up. Now you're probably wondering where I've been, and the best way to do this is make a long story short. I had a son back in February, so pretty much last year I spent my time getting prepped. I had to sell some stuff, had to get ready because truth be told, we just weren't ready anyway whatsoever. But with that said, moving on, today is a very special video because today we get to unbox this bad boy. Alright, so as you guys can see in front of me, we've got this beautiful looking box, and of course it says Oculus Rift S, and then on the top we've got this nice little handle if you want to use it as your carrying case, and then on the back it's got your system requirements, your specs, and then of course it gives you a look at the headset and the controllers, and then some games that are out or are coming soon. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Let's pull the sleeve off. Now it's got the Oculus logo on the box, which is expected. Open it up, and then you're going to see right away that everything is placed in there nice and neat. So the thing I noticed right away is the controllers. They're different, but everything is in here. Looks like that we need. The headset has a different type of strap on it, which I'm curious to see how that works out. But first I want to take a look at the controllers. Now the first thing I noticed right away is they do feel lighter, and I can't say that I don't mind that because lighter in my opinion is better in VR, but I think people confuse light with cheap. Now another thing I noticed right away is that there's no ring around my hand, which is fine. I think with inside out tracking this is necessary, so that is why they chose this setup. The next thing I want to do is look at the headset. Now the headset is of course the bread and butter of the new Rift. As you can see, it's got a similar look and shape, but there are definitely some changes as you've got, you know, cameras all over it. The cord does look longer. I'm not 100% sure if it is, but I'm going to be testing that out. Hopefully it doesn't kink as bad. So right away we've got these cameras on the front, and as you can see right now they look like they're 180 cameras. We've got one on the top, and we've got those two right there. You've got one what looks like on each side right there and right there, so definitely going to check that out. The next thing I want to do is show you guys how easy this thing is to set up. The amount of time that it takes now to set up your headset for VR is a fraction of the time it took before on the CV1. I believe that due to the internal cameras, you're now able to just do it all from the headset, so that makes it a lot easier. You just scan your place, set your floor level, and boom, you're good to go. And bam. Alright, so as you can see, we're playing some Robo Recall for the test, and the first thing I notice is we've got the original Oculus Touch model still, which is good because now I get to test all the button placements and everything actually feels like it's right where it used to be, so that is a huge plus right there. The main thing I noticed is the ring is not accurate because it's no longer in the same position. I can no longer clap them together like I used to test the accuracy of the tracking, but that is because the ring is now above my hands instead of around because of the inside out tracking. But I mean, right now I wouldn't even know that I was using inside out tracking. It's so good. As you can see, we've got it on 360 tracking, which is optimal for a 3-sensor configuration, because what better way to test inside out tracking than to test it against a 360 tracking 3-sensor setup. So if it can emulate a 3-sensor configuration setting, then I guess that's good for the future of VR, right? Alright, so first thing I noticed right away is how clear my hands look. Like, wow, that is crazy. I mean, I can't even see what looks to be like a screen door effect. So that is really, really good. Wow. And then let me see if I can see anything over here. See, I can't even see over here. Now granted, I do see some jaggies, but that is because I did have to turn my settings in the game a little bit lower than what I'm used to playing in, because I'm recording and playing on the same PC right now due to a little bit of a setup change, but no issue. The bar still looks really, really good. And like I said, I don't really see that screen door effect. And look how good the tracking is. I mean, I can like crawl on the floor and everything is okay. Like I'm not getting any issues whatsoever. All right, so as you can see, we got the coffee mug. Let's try and throws really good. I want this right here. Now this guy, he looks good. Like, wow, it almost looks smooth as butter. I mean, it's so clear that it almost looks physical, like it's physically there. Like, wow, that's beautiful. Colors look good too, like that gold looks really, really good. Alright, so one of the first things I noticed when coming over here is the shadows and the black levels. Definitely not as deep as the CV1 or the HTC VIVE or even the Samsung Odyssey, but what I will say is, by looking at this guy right here, man, I really do not see any screen door effect at all. He looks so good. I mean, you can even see like the detail and all of the metal, like all the hammering and everything, and it just looks really, really good. I cannot seem to find a gap in between these pixels. So the sub-pixel tech on these LCD screens is really, really good. One thing I also want to point out is, when it comes to the colors on this guy, your reds are still red, your blues are still blue, your yellows are still yellow, and of course your greens are still green. It's not taken away from the experience by switching to an LCD panel. I mean, you still get a good amount of contrast. I mean, you still, like, look right there, like you can still see some black. It's not gonna be perfect now, but it's definitely good enough to give you that presence and add to the immersion, and it's not taken away from it in any way, if you ask me. And in fact, I think I prefer it because it looks really, really good. I mean, even when you get down and look at his pants, you can see into the detail and everything. As I get closer, I just do not see that screen door effect at all. In fact, I just see more detail and threading inside of his pants. Like, it looks really, really good. By looking at his head, let me see if I can get in a better light. Try and see if I can find this screen door. Wow. So I'm trying to see if I can see the screen door, and I just still can't see it. The farther it gets, I figured that's when it would show, but it doesn't. If I get it closer, I don't see it either. I mean, it's just really good. Wow. And like I said, your contrast is still there. It still looks good. It's not gonna ruin your experience. Like, you're not gonna put this on and be like, oh, it looks washed. Alright, so go easy on me because it's been a while since I played this game. I'm gonna do the first mission. That way I can kind of focus on the headset and not just the game and get caught up, just shooting guys up. I want to be able to observe what's going on with this thing and not just in this thing. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and launch this mission and see how it goes. Alright, so now that we're in some more light, the gloves still look really, really good. I mean, screen door effects still not there. I don't see it. That's really good. I'm really impressed so far. The Halo head strap is really nice. I definitely don't feel like my face is being squeezed, or I'm gonna have like a ring on my face when I take this off, and that is a huge plus because honestly that was one of my biggest gripes, and that was one of my favorite parts about the PlayStation VR when I had it. As far as field of view goes, it honestly feels like it's the same as the CV1. Now granted, I did have a VR cover interface on mine with the thinnest leather pad on it, so that way I could get the most field of view out of it. And honestly, this feels the same with just the stock interface, so that is a huge plus. Tracking is really good. Not having any issues. My hands aren't floating away. They're not flying all over the place. I don't think I have to worry about that. I hit him with the gun. I figured at least by now my hand would have been floating away at least once. Throws when I wanted to throw. I honestly think I could say if someone blindfolded me, put this on, and then took off the blindfold and told me, hey, you're in an outside-in tracking, I'd probably believe it, to be honest, because, man, this is really good. Granted, I'm not doing anything absolutely crazy, but so far the experience is smooth. Like, I'm not mad at all. I will say that So far, I'm really impressed with the tracking, guys. The tracking, the Halo headset, the field of view is, pretty much the same. So nothing to complain about there. Absolutely beautiful experience, very smooth. And the controllers, still feel just as comfortable as the original Oculus Touch, in my opinion. Like, I haven't had any issues with these controllers so far at all. I mean, just looking at the shadows, it doesn't look like I'm having any tracking problems at all. So if I wanted to shoot a bow and arrow, looks like I could. Oh, cool. What's this? Oh, that's right. I gotta throw guys in there. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna throw things in there.
Items may be thrown into this tractor beam.
Customer is aggressive.
Yeah, I have no complaints so far about this headset at all. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of technology. Yeah, this is great. Like, as I said before, if you blindfolded me and put me in here and told me it was outside in, I'd completely believe it. I have no issues with this whatsoever. Alright, so there you guys have it. That was my Oculus Rift S test, and I just want to say that this thing is one beautiful piece of machinery. Oculus really outdid themselves with the inside-out tracking on this. The controller tracking is what impressed me the most after having a Samsung Odyssey and then jumping into this and expecting a little bit of a buggy experience when it came to the controllers. It was by far beyond what I expected, honestly. With that being said, I want to go ahead and talk about the visuals. The visuals on this thing are absolutely amazing. The LCD panel was the correct choice to make, as the clarity and the subpixel tech deliver one of the best VR experiences you can get right now. And not only that, but the price for this thing is really hard to beat right now. $399 off the shelf, and of course we've got to have the VR ready PC, but those prices are coming down as well. Now, the reason I chose to test this thing on Robo Recall was because that game was designed with outside-in sensors in mind, and I figured, hey, it's an Oculus Classic, so why not try it on the new Oculus? And as you guys see, the tracking worked phenomenally. I had zero issues whatsoever with tracking, and I was able to dodge bullets, catch rockets, and shoot guys all over the place. And not only that, but I remained in a 360 space with no issues whatsoever, and that is what you're looking for when it comes to a VR headset. Now, Robo Recall's not the only game I tested on. I also tested on some various other classic VR games. The Climb is one, for example. The Climb works really, really well. I tried playing The Climb on my Odyssey one time, and it just was not a fun experience. It's all good when your hands are in front of you, but as soon as your hands go over your head, you start losing lots of tracking. What you guys see in the video is no issue whatsoever. Another game I wanted to test this on was Space Pirate Trainer. Now, Space Pirate Trainer was a game that never had inside-out tracking in mind as well. When it was designed for lighthouse tracking and, of course, Oculus camera tracking, which is that outside-in tracking. And as you guys can see, I had no issues whatsoever playing Space Pirate Trainer. The next game I tested it on was Super Hot. Now, Super Hot, I chose this because Super Hot really gives you a chance to slow down and just see how good the tracking is. And I never had any hiccups, none whatsoever, not with any light reflections, nothing. As you can see, I'm dodging bullets and doing everything I need to be able to do in this game to enjoy it. I can't help but recommend this headset. Now, the only thing I was disappointed was no built-on headphones, but I'm completely fine with that. I've got some earbuds right now, but I definitely plan on throwing something on here a little bit more permanent, and I'll survive. Other than that, I can't help but recommend this thing. If you've got $400 lying around and you want to jump in VR and you've already got the PC ready to do so, don't kid yourself. Get this thing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really, really appreciate it. And again, I apologize, guys, so much for the long break, but it's just been one hectic time for me. And things are finally falling back in place, and we're finally getting things back in order. And thank you guys so much for sticking around if you did. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, because like I said, I've got a lot of awesome stuff coming for you guys, and I'm really excited to jump back into VR and have a blast again. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.